Hi there, you're welcome to Demi RX Care channel, where we talk about medications and how to use them properly. So today we're going to be diving right into another topic, which is a favorite topic of mine because this is actually a hobby of mine, which is traveling. I love traveling, right? Especially during this pandemic season, everything is kind of slowed down, but you can still travel, but just making sure you're watching out and making sure that you're knowing what to look out for when you get to the airport on your trip, and just how to kind of help you with some tips on how to travel on a long flight. So first thing first, what do you want to make sure you have on hand? You want to make sure you have some hand sanitizer. I know for the most part, you probably want to stick to a regular alcohol hand sanitizer, the one that's not an aerosol. That way it doesn't go in the trash can at the TSA. All right? You can thank me later. All right, so making sure that you're getting a small jar of hand sanitizer doesn't hurt, preferably in a clear container. That way you can kind of show it to them that, hey, I don't have any illegal substance in here. It's hand sanitizer. You can smell it. Your dog can smell it, and we should be fine. All right. So what is another thing that you want to make sure you have with you? Another thing to make sure you have with you, especially during this pandemic season, as I mentioned earlier, is wearing a breathable face mask. Please, please, please. Do not wear 3 face masks because you're not trying to catch the Rona and then you can't breathe. Ma'am, 1 face mask is enough, and just making sure you're keeping your 6 feet distance, okay? Making sure you're able to breathe. You can wear 2 face masks. I've seen people wear 2 face masks at the airport, but just make sure that you're comfortable in them. You're about to get on a long flight, so you want to wear something that you're comfortable in. You don't want to be snoring and make the other passenger beside you uncomfortable because you cannot breathe, all right? So what is another thing to have on while you're traveling? So you want to make sure you're wearing compression socks, most especially, like I said, for longer flights. So making sure you're wearing a long compression socks that can kind of help with the blood flow, most especially if you're the type of person that doesn't like to stand up and walk around in the airplane. So you want to make sure that you're wearing that compression socks to kind of help prevent any clots, and just to kind of make sure to promote that blood flow around your body, most especially from your lower extremity, also known as your lower legs or lower limbs, to make sure that blood is flowing back up the way it should. Also, another thing you want to make sure you're doing is staying hydrated. It's okay to completely ask the hostess for some water if you're thirsty. They usually don't charge for it, so it's free. Make sure you stay hydrated. I know you can't take water past the TSA, so once you get past that TSA, if you don't want to buy that $5 or $6 water from the vending machine, you can always ask the air hostess once you get on the plane, and they're more than willing to get you a cup of water. All right, so what is another thing you want to have on you while you're traveling? Make sure you have a sweater. So I'm the type of person that gets cold very easily, so if I travel without wearing a sweater, I called for it. So you want to make sure that you're wearing a sweater. Make sure that you're wearing if you're not wearing a sweater, a long sleeve if you're the type of person that gets cold very easily. Some airplanes don't have blankets anymore due to the COVID period. Just as some precautions, if you're the blanket person, make sure you bring your blanket along with you. TSA is not going to take that away from you. Okay, so make sure you have your blanket with you. Also, another thing that you want to watch out for is the food on the plane. So try to stick to a food that you're familiar with. Especially on a long flight, they usually serve a decent meal. make sure that you're picking something that your stomach is familiar with. I don't think the best place to have a stomach flu or diarrhea is on the plane for 12 hours, because you're probably not going to like yourself after the third time you've been to the bathroom. The bathroom is shaky. There's probably turbulence. You can't even sit and be comfortable in the bathroom. So why do you want to have diarrhea? So, like I said, make sure that you stick to something your stomach is familiar with. This is not, most likely not the time to try new stuff. So try to stick with what you know. All right. So what is another thing that you want to get on the plane with you? That way you're not falling while dozing off. All right. So last thing, if you're not able to use a neck pillow, just hope and pray that there's nobody behind you. That way you can use that back stretch. I mean, even if there's someone behind you, usually you're more than welcome to use the back stretch. Hopefully they're sleeping, so they wouldn't care how much backward you're moving the back stretch. So if you don't know how to operate that, make sure you call the air hostess. They're usually very nice, so they will help you with that. All right, so these are just my little tips from traveling before and during the pandemic, and what are the things that I was able to learn and would like to share with you all as you travel. All right, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you like more content such as this. That way you can help support us here at Demi RX Care Community, and also get alerts anytime we post our other educating videos. All right, thank you and stay blessed.